Good afternoon. Well, I am getting back to work. Alright, well, let's see. Today I'm working on missions, and the idea basically is that I need to put together... I've got these JSON files here, which have got missions in them, and I need to upload them so that the platform can read those. I'll also need like the infrastructure for messaging and events and all that sort of stuff, so I can call back down to the games and say, hey, there's new mission data, you should go load that up. So let me see what I've got going on here. Alright, so what I'm going to need is I'm going to need a path to the actual mission folder, and let's see what this will default to. So it's going to be, should be in here, so 1, 2, 3. And then Dashkin, game data, missions. Alright, so let's print that out. So we'll need to load up all the missions, and then we will need to I guess throw them up on S3, and then we want to broadcast that there's new mission information. Do we also need like a version number? I think we'll need a version number. It's probably what we should do. Alright, so let's think about this. So I'm gonna need some configs open for this. Let me know where these things are. Alright, so we're gonna have services, application server, app master, stats. Do we have missions anywhere? No, we don't. Alright, so missions. Okay, so we'll need missions. Let's see, we'll need the S3 bucket. We'll need the S3 root. And we'll need the S3 credential. Alright, so the bucket's going to be... These configs I got off screen because, they're kind of less what we want. Alright, so game data missions, S3 credential, let's see, that's gonna be the... Alright, we'll just use that service AWS credential. so what we're going to want is our bucket. So that's going to be c.getString. It's going to be services.missions.s3 bucket. So that'll be services.missions.s3 root. US credentials, creds. It's going to be again services.missions. AWS credential. Is that how I spelled it on other things? No, I capitalized the W and the S. Okay, so we're going to need an S3 thing here. So we're going to need like a version file. Maybe I should make a new thing here for game, because we're now actually doing game stuff. That kind of makes sense. So let's do WD mission data structures. So we'll need a version file. So basically we'll have a version file sitting next to this thing, and then we'll have the actual file itself, which will be zipped. So I'm gonna actually do that. So zipped, let's put it as true. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to combine all these things into a single thing, and then we're going to do that. So we also want the actual data file itself, so WD mission data file. So we are going to want these things, so it'll be this array list of, what are they called? Missions. So it's going to be like this game underscore mission. Something like this. I think that's right. Yeah, game missions. I guess the other thing we should do here is we should just include the version number inside of this guy, just to be careful. Just to make it simpler so there's no race conditions. Okay, so what we're going to do first is load up all the mission data, combine them into a data file, get the version currently in our environment, create the version file, we need to then upload the mission data, and then we need to upload the version file. Then we need to send a broadcast message to the queue, to the topic, to bust all mission caches. Do we need to actually do that? Or can we just send to everybody who's currently online or something like that? I'd say a broadcast message is probably the right way to go. just because. Okay, so let's load up the mission data. So, let's see if... check if that exists. Otherwise, we're going to go through... So let's get everything here. So all these files. Alright, so we'll skip everything that doesn't end in JSON. And each one of these files is one mission. Alright. Why is this pissed off? Okay, so I guess we'll just do array of file then. So what is this? It's going to be game underscore mission. So I'll snag this guy. Okay, so we have our mission, and we're going to need our mission file. So our mission data file is going to be here. So I'll add all the missions. Alright, so we need the version currently on our environment. So the version data file is going to be this version file thing. So it's going to be data file here. Data file, version file, data file name, and version file name. Right. Okay, so we'll get the version file path is going to be the S3 root. So let's check if it exists. So, it's just creds. Okay, so check if it exists. So we've got our bucket and we've got our version file path. So if the file exists, otherwise we need to do other things. So if the file exists, we need to do the thing. So we'll make this guy. So if the file exists, then we need to download it. So we'll download that as a string. It's going to be in bucket and then version file path. Let's make sure we got that correct. Alright, so we've got that going on. And I'm just back from GDC, so I'm trying to get back into doing stuff. I've already been doing actually quite a bit of work today. So this will probably be a shorter stream, but I figured I got to a point where I wasn't like starving and I was working on stuff, so I might as well boot up the camera. So we downloaded this thing. Alright, so let's convert this guy. So version stir, and we're gonna want this version data file. So we're gonna say version data equals this guy and version data dot version plus plus. So we'll have our new thing. Otherwise, yeah. So we'll want to set our data file version to our version data dot version. I guess we really don't need that zipped thing if like literally, yeah, so screw it. Just, there is no zipped. Just, it's always zipped. Who gives a damn? There's no reason for us not to zip it up. It's gonna have like maybe 400 missions in it or something. Like, we should just G-zip it. Alright, so upload the mission data. So what we're gonna do is we want to take our So we'll take this guy, which is this data file. It's going to be data file path, so that's going to be our bucket plus slash plus our data file name. So we'll do S3 upload object. So it's going to be our zip data, our bucket, and then our data file name. Why do we need our bucket here? We do not. It's not our bucket, it's our S3 root. Alright. Let's print out some information. Alright, so version file doesn't exist yet. We'll print out our new version, we'll zip it up, we'll print out how big it is, get our data file path, so our stuff is uploaded. We will then upload the version file. So we need the actual JSON for that, so version JSON. It's going to be our version data. So it'll be version JSON to our bucket, and then our version file path. Okay, we then need to send a broadcast message to do the thing. So let's just check our command line arguments there. That's looking fine. And I'm going to need to update my tools config. There we go. So this one's going to be, do we have services? Yes, we have services. And then we've got our, this will be missions. And then I guess we should have our environments. So let me see, we have local, test, prod, yeah, okay. A little bit verbose, but not the worst thing in the world. Alright, so for this guy, actually, this is not going to be services missions S3 bucket. It's going to be services missions dot, and then we need to add in our env. So we don't need the AWS credential, we've already got it, so that's fine. Alright, so the next things that we'll need here is broadcast. So we're going to need the string, the broadcast host. Let me see, where else do I do this? I do this for the actual deployments, right? Let's see. Product updated, broadcast container, publisher. Yeah, okay, so here we go. We've got products.broadcast, products.broadcast, services, local broadcast, and queue. Okay, so I've got like another level of indirection here for this, which is actually something I will use. Let's just do broadcast. Alright, cool. So we need this stuff going on. Alright, so this will be products broadcast, blah, but that's not what we want. We're going to want services.missions plus broadcast, like that. What do we got with this port? Broadcast host, broadcast port. Broadcast host. Alright, so we're going to want a message for this guy. So mission data structures. So public static class WD mission updated. Okay, so we need a broadcast message container. We need a broadcast message type. So we'll need that inside of our definitions, enums. Where is project environment broadcast message type? So this will be missions updated. And we'll need our data structure here. So this will be W mission updated message. So I think we'll just do serialized name version. And we'll just basically just send the version number that this thing is now at instead of anything else. And this will be our version data.version. Should do it. Mission updated. We added our enum, so let's generate all of our code over again. Okay, it needs to be underscore ID. Alright. Okay, so that should be our mission deployment tool. Let's see, where's our deployment? That's kind of how I organize all my Java stuff. We have one jar that has a whole bunch of stuff inside of it, which we run. Greatly simplifies what I need to do with my life. Alright, so for this mission deployment tool, let's start it up. It's going to... How's it doing? Well, we got missions from folder. You must specify an environment. Oh yeah, it was just unhappy because it was loading something up. Why was it unhappy? Alright, start simple config, do all those things. We must specify an environment. Alright, so our mission directory is going to be fine. We just need to set our environment to local. Loading emissions, version doesn't exist yet, new version is 0, mission data is 406 bytes, informing servers of product update, connecting to blah, and local broadcast is doing its thing. Very good, so we got our local broadcast, and we have our stuff. Let's check S3. Alright, looks like version.json did not get properly put up there, so let's see, it was data gz is up there. Alright, so data file path, upload object, data file worked, upload object, version file path, version JSON. Oh, it's taking a path name. That's not what we want. Upload object. I guess we need to specify the bytes that I've got. So we'll just do it that way. Okay, so our version is up there. Let's go ahead and open it up and see what it looks like. Version 0. Alright. Let's run this again. New version is now 1. Correct. Let's grab our gzip data. Alright, our gzip data is looking pretty good. So we got version 1, missions, name, score goals 1, description, blah blah blah, name, blah blah blah. Let's kind of organize this a little bit better so we can see what it is much more easily. So we've got test mission and we've got score goals 1, and that's all looking proper. Like, this mission's screwed up, but test mission is the one that we like, which has got basically score 5 goals on the sunny day map, balls instantly reset, and it's against 5 enemy bots, and basically the win condition is for score greater than or equal to 5 goals. If it takes longer than 2 minutes, you lose. And then we've got result tiers for this. Oh, we got an equal there. That's not right. Let's boot up the editor and fix that while I'm still working on it. That's going to be one of the things that's going to be a real pain in the ass, is a lot of these missions and conditions and everything gets a little complicated, and it can be difficult to, like, if you're talking to a person, it's pretty easy to just be like, well, you know, just like, if you scored in less than 10 minutes, you know, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever, you know, makes sense, but computers are stupid. So you have to, it's real easy to actually screw up your rules when you're dealing with a lot of complex systems. It's always copy paste. In this case, it's not copy paste though. In this case, it's selecting something from a drop down without reading what the hell you're doing. So here's our mission. It is, we've got bronze tier, which has got less than equal to on it for test mission. Alright. Well, if we save this and export the mission, am I just looking at the wrong thing? Am I insane? No, when I export this thing, it's got its comparison as LTE. Maybe I just hadn't exported? Let's run this again and double check everything. $408 bytes. Okay, so there's a difference. Alright, yeah, I just hadn't exported, so everything's fine. Very good. Okay, so it exports, it does all that stuff, it does everything, that's good. Okay, now we need to have the service stack actually respect some of this. We also need the script for this tool. So let me go ahead and just start by making the script for this tool. So scripts, product, scripts, online, deploy product, deploy game server. Yeah, we'll just do deploy product. So deploy mission data. We'll do that. So what do we call this guy? We called him the mission deployment tool. We're going to need our config path, we're going to need our env, and we'll need our mission dir. Okay, so key versions doesn't matter, upload doesn't matter, version doesn't matter, product doesn't matter, config path is good, zip doesn't matter, so the only thing is this env, which we will, so it's going to be performing missions upload, failed to deploy missions. So we just need mission dir. Let's make sure that that's correct. It is mission dir, and we're going to want this guy. So it's going to be like this. So we'll need DPIO ///. Where is this? This is in scripts online, so we go up to, and then there's Dashkin. So up to, then there's Dashkin, and there's that. So that'll deploy our mission data. I should probably just finish this off. So what I should do now is, since I've got all this stuff rolling along, revert all my unchanged files, and I should go ahead and actually just start checking in all this garbage. But before I do that, I should fix the configuration for every environment for these guys. So let's do that first, just so I don't forget. Okay, so we've got that, AWS credential and everything. So let's open up the test, and then the production credentials. So that is after app master, This is under test. Yeah, so test missions. This is under prod missions. I just want to validate that we've got the right JSON. Looks like we do, so we're good to go. Okay, so that's good. I need to check that in. I need to build it. I also need to make the job, which will run all this garbage. Let's see, how many workspaces can we actually have? Can I delete this workspace? How many workspaces do we have? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Well, the problem with the Perforce license stuff we're looking on, I think we've only got access to like 20 actual change any 20 actual workspaces before we start having problems with our license because of how this stuff works. So I need to clean one up. Probably the best idea. I think I can edit this guy, but I'd like to delete it. Alright, I guess I actually have to log into the Perforce server to do that. Alright, so delete a workspace, P4 command line. Alright, so I like that. Delete workspace and it just like gives you P4 workspace and it's just it's bullshit. Alright. Okay, so it's P4 client -D. P4 client -D. Cytochrome. Client is deleted. Refresh. Looks like it's gone, so there we go. We have freed that guy up. So awesome. We can just jump off of there. So I need to build this guy, so we need this was our Java tools, so let's go ahead and build our Java tools. And we need to make a new job here, which is based off of our, deploy Dashkin game server. So let me just make sure I got one of these that doesn't have a ridiculous P4 config. So this one has project services, toolbox, resources. So it's pretty small. Okay, so good. So we'll clone this guy. This is going to be deploy Dashkin missions. Actually, let's just do deploy Dashkin game data, because we'll probably do more than this. So let's have this be env. So this will be local test or prod. That's the correct stuff. Alright, so we're going to go to project scripts, online, deploy mission data is going to be the first thing we call, and we're going to pass in our env. Alright, cool. So we got that. So I'm waiting for my Java tools to build. And let me see, does this guy do a P4 sync only, or does it also do a mirror? Because we don't really need to do a big ass mirror for this guy. Yeah, just deploy mission data. So, good. I don't have completely idiotic jobs for some of these things. Hello, Chris Goku 2. I'm muted? Are you serious? Are you serious I'm muted? I'm not muted. I can hear myself. No, I can hear myself on OBS and on Twitch, so you're muted. And welcome back, sir. I forget, you're working on a game, and I can never remember exactly if you've launched or not, because I think you had like all sorts of stuff where you're in progress, and then you'll come back the next day and be like, well, this other thing is still going. So I don't know. Hopefully all that's going well. I am still kicking around with this guy. Just waiting for builds to finish here. So let's see. Just watching the build log right now. So got back from GDC recently, down in San Francisco for a whole week. Got to see family, got to see Adam for the first time in forever. It's kind of funny. Adam and I are Adam and I are not friends. It is actually really funny. Like our personalities, I'm pretty sure, just really don't get along. So it was kind of interesting to be down there, and that's probably a good thing that we don't like get along super well in terms of friendship. Kind of helps you keep the relationship more business on stuff. Like we get along, but like I don't think, you know, if like we were in high school or something, we'd be friends. Be like, oh hey, yeah, you're the guy who sits over there. I don't want to talk to you. Do art. I'm gonna go do my own thing. I'm gonna build flamethrowers. Though we might get along with some of that, but it's like, you know, we start off with a handshake, end with a handshake. It wasn't like start off with a handshake, end with a hug. So that's how GDC went like that. But other than that, saw a lot of people from Amazon, saw a lot of people from other companies in the industry, went to quite a few parties, met interesting people, and I think there was also a Brackenwood meetup there, which was interesting. Okay, so I've got that. So deploy Dashkin game data to local. Let's see what we got going on. So this guy's going to have to pull down all the different folders. Total file size, total file count, syncing files. Just waiting for this guy to do its thing. Oh man, we're up to like 1,200 change lists in Perforce. Which means absolutely nothing. So this build machine has to sync this stuff down. We're waiting for that because I'm trying to do it one thing at a time. Like we have our upload tool. Let's make sure our upload tool is actually working how we want it to before we move on to the server grabbing that and also creating the like fetch missions calls and everything else that's going to be necessary for the client to go, hey, game servers, give me all the missions that are available, and so I can then, you know, do things with them. Because what we'd like to do is we'd like to have missions that are completely dynamic in this game. So if we add missions or something like that, then the game will actually have those be available. So we can push out mission content without requiring a whole server infrastructure thing. And this is going to be particularly valuable if we have bugs, because, you know, it's like, oh man, we totally screwed up. This mission is completely not doable with 5 bots. So we can turn that number down to 4, and we can push that out, and people won't be waiting an entire month for, you know, something simple like that to happen. So I just gotta wait. Just have to wait if I'm gonna do this one thing at a time. There it goes. Oh no, it didn't work. The folder does not exist. Project scripts online, Dashkin mission. So project scripts online. So if we go up to, we are still not up to Dashkin game data missions. Okay, well it didn't sync it down because it's not in our first client spec here, so we need to include that. So we're gonna need the project Dashkin slash game data folder. So project Dashkin game data. Let's add that to our client spec. Informing service of product update. New version file exists. Grabbing. New version is 3. Alright, let's double check that. What do we got? 3. Alright, so our tool works. Excellent. So the next thing we should do is move on to our servers actually listening for this guy. And we're also going to need a cache for that stuff. So we should make a new thing which is like a mission data cache, and that mission data cache should be something that we create. So what do we call this? Should we just have this be services and then just like missions or something? So this is going to be based off of a yeah, so it'll be kind of like this. All right, so what this object is going to need to do is it's going to need to load our mission data. Yeah, I know it's undefined. Give me the fucking drop down. Man, sometimes IntelliSense is stupid. Let's create that. All right, do we need this startup complete? No, we do not. Okay, so all right, good. All right, so what I think we're going to do is we're going to have a hash map of a lookup for game, and then we're going to have mission. So I'll have a mission map. We're also going to have a private byte array for the actual data, I believe. So it'll be like, we can send this gzip data all the way down. Hello, Sinacron. How was GDC? GDC was pretty good. I drove down there from where I am, which is about 15 hours to drive, and pretty much every day was completely packed with talks in the morning and afternoon, and then going out to dinner, sometimes until, well, pretty much every night until about 4 in the morning, and then waking up at 8 in the morning, and then going to talks, and that was the entire week, was just wall-to-wall stuff like that. So exhausting, but well worth the trip. Talks were interesting. They're not really always super amazing in what they actually teach you, but they kind of give you ideas. So like maybe you're listening to something you already know. That's also sometimes a good thing. You're like, okay, good, I already know this stuff. You know, I'm on the right track. I'm not just full of crap. Other people are doing this too. Other than that, you might hear something and be like, oh, well, that's obvious. Oh, well, am I doing that? You know, could I do that better? Yeah, it makes sense. So I'll have our zip mission data. I'd also like to have an array list of the actual missions. Do I want anything else? Like I could have kind of an unzipped version of the data. Yeah, I didn't go to any of the kind of the graphics talks. Usually the graphics talks and stuff like that is what's going to happen in the future. Like there's a lot of those where it's like, come to Microsoft and DirectX 12, what's going to happen later? And it's like, well, that's cool, but I kind of need to work on stuff right now. A lot of the talks I found the most interesting, because I try to go to a variety of talks.